Today we are looking at Andrew Tate's first chess win out of jail. This game is an attacking masterclass, and at the end we see one of the nastiest checkmates. So Andrew in this game is rated 1612 and his opponent is rated 1573. This was a 5-minute chess game played on chess.com. Let's get into it. So Andrew opens up with d4. Like usual, we see d5 and c4. This is known as the Queen's Gambit, and after e6, this is the Queen's Gambit declined. Knight c6 and knight f6. The most typical move for white here is to play a move like knight f3. Instead, we see the move bishop f4, and Andrew Tate implemented this bishop f4 idea against Piers Morgan. I'm sure some of you saw that interview. Well, Andrew went for the exact same setup, and we see c6, e3, bishop e7, and knight f3. And the most typical move for black here is to simply castle their king to safety. Instead, today we see a slightly less seen move, and we see the move dc4. Bishop c4 you may as well take back, and now this knight leaps into the center of the board and attacks this bishop. Now, normally having the two bishops in chess, also known as the bishop pair, is a great attacking asset, so Andrew wants to preserve his bishop, so he retreats it back to the g3 square. And after bishop g3, there was one game where the move a5 was played. Instead, today we see the move bishop b4, and after this move, this position has never been reached again. However, bishop b4 does violate a key principle to chess, and that is do not move the same piece twice in the opening. And after bishop b4, Andrew plays the top engine move and he goes queen c2, and Andrew's opponent exchanges on c3, takes, and bishop d6. And Andrew goes bishop h4, attacking this queen. We see bishop e7 and bishop g3, and now bishop d6 again, so both players have just repeated moves. Now, Andrew could be stubborn by playing the move bishop h4. Instead, he plays a better move and he goes e4, advancing this pawn up the board, striking at the heart of his opponent's camp. And Tate's opponent now castles his king. I'm not going to say he gets his king to safety, because this is questionable if his king is actually safe, but he does castle his king. And after castles king, we see e5, and now this bishop goes back to e7. And if we just pause here and look at the positions, then you would notice that black does not have a lot of development, and white on the other hand has all these pieces in the game. Now, when you have more attackers than your opponent has defenders, that can be a great indicator that your attack will be successful. And you could apply that same principle to pretty much any sports, especially team sports. You know, if there's like 3 attackers and 2 defenders, then the attackers will have an advantage. And after bishop e7, Andrew brings his bishop back to the d3 square, where it will attack this h7 pawn. Andrew's opponent could play a move like h6, trying to stop it. Instead, he goes g6, which creates more weaknesses, and it's going to be interesting how Andrew exploits this. Now, Andrew could castle his king or play a safe move. Instead, he plays the move h4, thrusting his pawn up the board, looking to penetrate all these weak holes. We see knight d7, and Tate does not stop. He keeps on pushing. h5 and queen e8, and there's a very strong idea for Tate here to play the move queen d2, looking to infiltrate this h6 square, just looking to really exploit those dark squares. Instead of any of that, he plays hg6, we see fg6, and here Andrew gets his king to safety with castles queenside. Knight b6, this knight is doing some hops, and rook h2, so Andrew looking to double up. Andrew's opponent leaps his knight into the d5 square, and rook d to h1, and there is a threat here of playing the move rook h7, so Andrew's opponent defends this attack by playing the move rook f7. Well, I say defends, but you can also try work out why this move does not actually defend the h7 square. So I'll let you try pause the video and work out why this move is completely flawed. So if you did pause the video, the reasoning behind this is that the move bishop g6 can be played, and now there is a threat of winning this rook or winning this queen, and if this bishop is taken, well then there's just a forced checkmate, and that is a complete lights out, and that's checkmate. Rook h7 is checkmate. So you have to be very careful here. After rook f7, this does not actually defend this, because the move bishop g6 is just an absolute lights out. Good thing for Tate's opponent, Andrew does not find this. Instead, he plays the move bishop h4, trying to exchange this dark squared bishop and also get his knight into the game. We see rook g7 now, and now this knight hops in to the g5 square, looking to cause some damage. Andrew's opponent goes knight f4, and there is a very strong idea here, which is to go knight e4 and then play knight f6. Instead, instead of that, Andrew goes bishop c4, attacking this e6 square. It is still quite strong though, and after queen d8, there is a double attack on this knight. And Tate plays a rather tricky move here. Instead of really reacting to the threat here, he goes g3, which is risky because the move bishop g5 can be played, and the move bishop g5 was played in the game, because after bishop g5, here Tate takes this, and this pawn is hanging with check. Good thing for Tate, his opponent decides to take this bishop, and after rook h4, Andrew still has an attack, but it's not as strong as it was. He's gonna have to really revive it here. Queen f8 is played, and now queen e4, Andrew getting his pieces deeper into his opponent's camp. Andrew's opponent tries to exchange queens with the move queen f5. Andrew is not interested here, although it would have been fine to exchange. Instead, he plays the move queen f3, which is the more human move, to be honest. You've got a strong attack, you want to try keep pieces on the board. Bishop d7, and now the move bishop d3, attacking this queen. Queen f7, and now queen h3. We see rook f8, king d2, and here black has a really annoying engine move, which is to play c5 with the idea of opening up this bishop. Good thing for Tate, his opponent does not find this stockfish move. Instead, he plays the move b5, which Andrew can go rook g1, and after queen e7, you can now try pause the video and work out another move Tate can play to gain a great position. I'll let you try pause the video. Well, the move is bishop g6, and this is what was played in the game. Congratulations if you found that. Queen a3 was tried in the game, trying some last minute nasty stuff. Doesn't really work though, because now this pawn falls with check. Bishop h7, we see king f7, and now rook g7. After king g7 and queen g4 check, king f7 is played, and after queen g6 check, king e7, and now queen g7 check. We saw rook f7 trying to block, but now queen g5, and after king e8, here Tate goes bishop g6. There is a pin now. Queen a2 was played check, but now this king slides up to e3, and after queen b2, try work out the checkmate in one. So the move for Andrew played was rook h8, and after this, that is a checkmate. If you enjoyed this video, I think you might enjoy this video. If you want to see more videos like these, like and subscribe. Thank you for your time and attention. Have a good day.